friends. Welcome to this daily video devotional. I'm looking today at the Gospel of John and want to take you to the Gospel of John in the 16th chapter. There's this one verse that I've always loved, and it's one that I always bring to mind when going through challenging times. Let me put this in context. So in this part of the Gospel, Jesus is beginning to help his disciples realize that things are going to change. The cross is going to come. Their relationship with Jesus and with the world is going to undergo this massive change. They're going to have their normal disrupted. Maybe that's a phrase we've used a few times. And this is what Jesus offers as the closing line of this long reminder that they are not alone. He says, "I have said these things to you so that you will have peace in me. In the world you will have distress, but be encouraged. I have conquered the world." I love that line. Be encouraged. I have conquered the world. Why does Jesus say this? Why does he end this whole statement about being with them and not to be anxious or worried because they're not going to be alone? And even though you're going to scatter away when things begin to change, even though you're going to kind of go through this moment of losing your balance of faith, even though you're going to go through it, my peace remains with you, and you will be okay. Why? Because even though you have distress in the world, I have conquered the world. I know I've talked about this before in these devotionals, but I feel like it's important to come back to once in a while. And it's important to come back to because there's a very real truth presented in those words. In this world, you will have distress. There is no clean, easy way to put it. Even though we are people of faith, even though we are Christians, this world is going to throw us curveballs. We are going to face problems. It's not because God doesn't love us. It's not because we've done anything wrong. If anyone has ever told you that the reason that bad things are happening in your life is because you've done something wrong, something to anger God, they are full of it. That's not how God works. In this world, we will have distress. Our normal will be uprooted. Our expected will become the unexpected. In this world, we will face hardship. We will face disease. Our bodies will grow frail. We will lose loved ones. We will go through broken relationships and heartbreak. We will see our children walk away from us at times and rebel against us. We talked about that yesterday. We will go through moments when we feel like our love is wavering for the world, for others, for our communities. We will go through distress. But Jesus ends it with this line of hope. It's almost as if Jesus is saying, it doesn't end there. The distress is not the end of the conversation. The end of the conversation is this: I have overcome the world. That very thing that's going to throw curveballs at you, I have beaten it. It does not have dominion over you. When I read this, I started thinking about the sports world. I know, it's a weird transition, right? But in the sports world, sometimes we think this way. We think along the lines of playoffs in baseball. If the Tigers lose to the Yankees in the first round of the playoffs, I'm unhappy. Now I want the Yankees to win. Because if the Yankees can continue to win and win and win and win in the playoffs and win the pennant and win the World Series, then at least I know something. I've lost to the best. I wonder if the world ever thinks that way. I'm going to bring my best game, the world says, but you know what? I've already lost to the best. I've already lost to the best. And the best is on our side. Do not be discouraged. I've overcome the world. I've already won against that thing that scares you. The distress of this world cannot win. Because Jesus says, I have overcome the world. Whatever you're facing, God has overcome. Whatever you're worried about, God has already overcome. Even death itself, whilst admittedly scary and uncertain and heartbreaking, God has already overcome death itself. Do not be worried. Do not be discouraged. Do not be dismayed. God has overcome the world. Amen.